Hello everyone, we are here in USTP Alubijid, Misamis Oriental, the future main campus of the University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines. I am Glenda Libed and you're watching Magnified, the President's Affairs. The University of Science and Technology of Southern Philippines continues to progress in the field of science and technology through its initiatives in developing the infrastructure of the different campuses, highlighting the future main campus called AGILA Science and Technology Park at USTP Alubijid. This dynamic operation will support the aim of the university on innovation ecosystem. During my site visit, I was able to interview our USTP System President, Dr. Ambrosio B. Cultura II, along with architect Ferdinand Dumpa, one of the architects leading the monitoring on the progress of the university's infrastructure development. Okay, good day po, Mr. President,
Good
and
day.
Architect Ferdinand Dumpa.
Yes, good day.
Sir, atong una isurihan karon ng atong mga nakakaroon sa atong first building sa atong Alubijid campus, and that the Research and Development Office, no, and that we have just launched last August 5. Unahan ako si President, unsay imong storya sa atong pagsugod sa atong Research and Development Office din sa atong Alubijid campus.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank the people who work hard for the accomplishment of this first building that we had just established here in this, we called it first as a ground zero, since this is the first building that is being established here. So it becomes now ground first, no? Ground first. Now, this is an opportunity, or shall we say, a good strategy for the university that we already started, no? So that we can show it to our stakeholders, the potential partners, especially industries, to relocate, because there is a provision here of allocators, no? Inviting some industries, if they are interested, to join us, no? Because the Science and Technology Park, one of the important components, no, is the research, no? Research. That's why the university 2 years ago established the research centers.
Okay.
Actually, there are 16 research centers established at the same time. Okay. And now some of the research centers has already external funding research,
Okay.
and they already have ongoing researchers, no? Ongoing research projects funded by different funding agencies, no? And we want that this research development office, one of the research or one or two of the research center will be housed here, no? Because as I've said, yes, here in this building, the first building, because the most important, one of the most important components in the East Ante Park is, as I've mentioned, research, no?
Okay.
Research,
Significant kayo,
significant yun ang research, because research, if you have a good, for example, if you have a track record of have these completed researches, no, published or commercialized, then you can attract industry. You can attract industry to come here, because there are problems in the industries that they need experts to solve, no, to help solving their problems experienced in the industry. So with these research centers that we have, if they have established our track record, and we have many researchers, PhDs and masters, who are experts in their field of specialization, and then industries will be interested, no? Will be interested to come here to ask, no, for help, especially some of the industries experience problems and they need experts to solve
especially
their
kung
own
matubang,
problems.
no, ma-respond nila mga problema.
So, as I've mentioned, this is one component. Because in our East Anti-Park, there are 7 components. We propose to have 7 components. Then, what are these 7 components? First is the research centers, no? Research centers. Second is the, that's why we first identified this building as a research, because I believe, myself, I believe that research is the most important component in the East Anti-Park to operate. Research, innovation centers. Government centers, no, and then government center, commercial centers, no. We will invite also commercial centers to be established here, because we need that also, because if we will open the academic centers, if we have students, and in fact we started opening 2 courses here in this campus, Alubijid. So we have already more than 100 students enrolled in this campus. No? And aside from academic centers, we also want to have these industrial centers. Industrial centers include the accelerators, startups, no, to relocate. No? And then the last one is the idea centers. Includes incubators, technology business incubators. So these 7 components. We can establish this in the
your mindset is really into the moving forward and innovation and progress, and I highly appreciate this one. So in 2-year time, aside sa mga karon, excited ko sa mga estudyante nga nag-enroll na dinhi, na yung mga kanang first building nato, and the priority for the research and development. Basta pa mga lain mga kausaban, nga nahitabo in 2 years nga nagsugod na rin.
Okay. When we started in 2019, that's October 2019, after 1 month, we aggressively established the research centers. As I mentioned, the 16 research centers were established, and these centers were submitted to board for approval. So there's a board approval of the establishment of research centers. Because I believe that research, I have mentioned, is one of the component or a support to the establishment of East Anti-Park. No? That's the first action that we did, no, related to East Anti-Park. Second is we propose to establish this building, RDO, the first building. No? That's the second action that we did in support to East Anti-Park. Third is the opening. What's the opening this semester? The opening of 2 courses here in the main campus. And then fourth, we have an approved use of track agreement with the Bureau of Fire Protection, allocating 1 hectare for the training center, regional training center that they want to establish.
Para sa Bureau of Fire.
Bureau of Fire. So there is 1 hectare. They will establish a training center here, no, for the Bureau of Fire. No, so that's the first government agency who will relocate here. Another activity that we had here is the development or the production of comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan.
And what pasabutan ng production of comprehensive land?
We already have this finalized the plan of the master development plan of the East Anti-Park. The LUDIP, or the comprehensive master plan of the East Anti-Park. So last month,
so makita nato sa expect, no, sa mga tao, no, kung
last month,
isay mahitabo, no, posible mahitabo.
The comprehensive master plan has already or had approved already by the board, and we will endorse this to the CHED. No? And then CHED will submit it to DBM for continuous funding by the government. No? Because one of the requirements for funding is the LUDIP, no? LUDIP or the master plan, no? And LUDIP land use development infra plan, which I think Architect Dumpa will further explain to that. Okay. And the last one, we established this ecosystem, no? The collaboration between the four important key stakeholders, no? Stakeholders, the government, academia, industry, and community.
Okay. So wala ang composition sa ecosystem.
We strengthen that linkage, that partnership and collaboration.
Okay.
Because again, to operate the SNT Park, there must be a strong collaboration or partnership between these key players, no? The four stakeholders, the academia, the industry, the government, and the community.
Okay, no? Kana nga, kusog kayo na siya nga, partnership,
in fact,
nagsugod na gid na karon press, di ba? Nakita na
the strong partnership between academia, specifically USTP, with the industries. We started with the SMEs, no? Small and medium enterprises, with all chamber. In fact, we have already this licensing agreement of our 4 products from FIC, no? To the industries who will commercialize the product. And hopefully in the SNT Park in the future, there will be more products produced by this collaboration to commercialize. So that's one.
Exciting, huge kayo na project. But then with these partners moving, doing things together, it is not impossible.
In fact, we had this conversation with the Consul of Japan, based in Davao, Consul Miwa, visited 3 times already, no, in our office, no, because when he visited in Cagayan de Oro Mayor's office, no, the mayor introduced to him the plan of USTP to establish the SNT Park, and then the consul had this interest, no, interest. He is interested to know about SNT Park, to know more about SNT Park, because he said in Japan the role of SNT Park is crucial, especially in the development, in the progress of a region or a city. No? So that's why he visited the office, and I presented to him the plan of SNT Park. And then he visited again, and then he said, I'm interested of this and I want to help you promote this SNT Park. That's why
from Japan is already trying to will support us.
In fact, he introduced this to his brother, who is a CEO, one of companies in Japan. His brother is a CEO, no? And then he offered, no? That company offered a scholarship to our faculty. One slot.
Well, even one slot is already a big help, no?
Or either master's or PhD, no? And then aside from that, he wanted to organize this academic, industry, government, no, collaboration. And he proposed to us that there will be a regular conversation or forum. He said monthly forum with academic, industry, government
for updates and
for the conversation on the possible research, no? Possible research, so and possible partnership, collaboration. And then one of the purpose of that, is for the SNT Park to be promoted to the industries. Promotion.
That's great.
That's
even promoted to other countries throughout the world, and that's great. And someone from Japan is already supporting us in this project, and that's a great start. No, that's a big start already. So, Pres, thank you so much. I think there are a lot more that's going to happen, beautiful things that will happen. But then at this point, I'd like to acknowledge the contribution, a huge contribution also of the director sa atong Infrastructure Planning and Facilities Development Office, or IPFDO, si Architect Ferdinand Dupa. Sir, welcome to MAGNIFIED, the President's Affairs. And you have a huge contribution. Gusto lang ni mangutana, at atong pa i-inform ang atong audience karon. Unsay mga latest sa infrastructure sa university? Siguro you can briefly kuan lang siguro sa mga kada campus, unsay mga latest nato highlights lang siguro.
Thank you, ma'am, for having me in
You're
this
welcome.
particular interview. I will first describe and give the stakeholders about what is inside of this Research Development Office and how this particular project was conceived. The budget allocated for this project is only 5 million. That is a surplus of the previous in 2019. And then we were able to set aside, with the help of the president, to identify, because we want to have a building, the first building here in Technopark, Alubijid Technopark, considering that our Baikubo rather is already dilapidated. So that is also one way of showing to our stakeholders and investors that we can accommodate them in a more comfortable ambience for them to discuss business or some other locators, and even our main stakeholders, the faculty and the students. That is why the importance of this Research Development Office is for the researcher, the stakeholders, and also all the possible people who would want to involve and indulge with the development of the SNT Park, the AGILA.
So far,
SNT
nakasugod
Park.
na silang bisita din niya.
There were few researchers from our own campus, and then this building has a capacity of the conference room has capacity. It can accommodate actually 40 persons, and then we have a small office, and then we have the 2 accommodations. Whenever there is activity that the researcher would want to finish overnight, they can possibly stay overnight or for a week. And we provided also primary services, amenities and facilities for this particular building. We provided a small kitchen, dining area, and then 2 toilet and baths at the lower level and the main level. And then this building also is having its own source of water through the use of the renewable energy, the photovoltaic, and also the right now the Morisco Ono is already into starting to lay down their lines, power lines towards this building. So actually, this is not only for researcher but also for other faculty who would want to use this for any activities. They can enjoy the beauty of the
place, no?
SNT
Very
Park,
convenient, and the beautiful ambience of place. Aside from this campus, aside from this, hopefully the future main campus of the university, other campuses, highlights like CDO campus, Alubijid, sa atong Claveria campus, unsa mga infrastructure progress development dito so far?
For our USTP CDO campus, we have 3 existing projects. The first one to commence is the Food Innovation Center, the 3-story building that is having a budget of 50 million that is under GAA. And it's now around more than 20%. And then hopefully by next year it will be finished and can also be a great contributor to the vision of the university and our president, which is innovations. That is why we call that Food Innovation Centers. And then it can accommodate, it can be expanded because the area is too big, because the former FIC is still in existing, and then we a new building, which is 3-story, and then the third floor can house a researcher. And also one other structure that is now post-qualification, that is due for notice of award, is the University Health Center. The University Health Center is under the observation of the Department of Health. That is why we cannot just procure the building without passing to the scrutiny of the Department of Health, considering that they need to see the planning if it will align to the requirements. That is why we acquire a permit to construct. That is one of the requirements, because no construction of health center, health facilities, a private mansiya or a school without having first an approved permit to construct from the US. So, thank God we were able to acquire that last week. And
so other campuses, no, for example, Claveria Caron, kumusta na sila?
Yes, Claveria has 2 GAA-funded projects. One is the Research Innovation Center, which is now 15 days ahead of schedule because of the close monitoring of our project management team in partner with construction engineers also of Claveria. The other one project is the multi-use auditorium amounting to 25 million. That is already ready for awards, and then we're just waiting for it to be properly approved by the board. So possible referendum. And there are also other projects in the making or in progress. The dormitory amounting to 9 plus million. So because that was a terminated project, we already complied with the requirements. And also another one is the continuation of the 5-story College of Engineering and Technology building in Claveria, which is due for procurement also.
First, I will update also the Hasaan campus. Because Hasaan campus just finished rebuilding of the ITE, the Integrated Technology Building, Hasaan, amounting to 6 million. So the first new building to be constructed in Hasaan, hopefully within this fourth quarter. And in the case of Villanueva, considering that it is a use of limited benefit at our university, so it is still waiting for any approved project from GAA. So right now, the status is waiting, but the students of the faculty is housed in, because it's in partnership with the NGO, so and for Balubal,
the president and the university with the LGU of CDO inked a use of rock agreement of 1,000 square meters, sir, no? 1,000 square meters in Balubal.
And Balubal, 10,000.
Okay. And then for other campuses, we strengthen and polishing first the land use development infra plan, because without LUDIP, the government will not fund any project that will be proposed by any campuses. So other campuses is still polishing their land use development plan.
So other campuses this time.
But there are already proposals, finished design, waiting for again the approval or the granting.
That's from other campuses. Okay. So since you just mentioned LUDIP, so siguro gusto makasabot ang atong audience karon kung sa LUDIP nagibuo sa university o para asa siya, no? And how is it implemented no, sa atong university karon?
Actually, the LUDIP is a mandate by CHED, no? So every campus has its own LUDIP. There are other exceptions. Like for example, if the area is not, if the area is smaller than 5 hectares, so there's an exemption to have no LUDIP.
Okay.
What is asked is the land use plan. And right now,
So unsa si LUDIP, no? What does it stand for? Unsa
land use, LUDIP is a land use development infrastructure plan for each
Okay.
campus.
So acronym siya, no?
Yes.
Ah.
Like what happened, what we have in our AGILA campus, we were able to, again, what the president have said a while ago, we were able to submit our land use development infra plan of Alubijid campus. That is in
Or
alignment
AGILA,
also.
no? AGILA.
Originally, the master development plan of the SNT Park,
Okay.
but then in alignment with what is required by the LUDIP. So, and other campuses is in parallel. So, different campuses has its own technical working group
Okay.
headed by each directors. So
So
again, no LUDIP, no project
no
to be
project,
approved.
no? So requirement siya. Pero
That
na
is-
exception no kung below 5 hectares, no? Ang area
Hectares,
sa
but again,
usapan.
it's subject for approval also.
Approval. And that's CHED, no? The Commission on Higher Education.
The CHED who oversee,
Oversee.
scrutinize, and approve, check the LUDIP.
Okay. So after that, budget and all and everything. Okay. But before we end, I would like to ask our president in terms of the direction. So where are we heading at this time, Mr. President?
Yeah, we want to sustain this momentum that we have already established. No? As I mentioned, the ecosystem has already been started. No? Innovation ecosystem, the first building, the offering of 2 courses, and also the government center to relocate here. We have already one who will signify to establish a training center, an office and a training center. And also for the start of the improvement, especially the challenge here is the road network.
Yes, it was
That's
an exciting, bumpy
that's
road
yeah. So
travel.
we need
to-
to ask our partner if they can help, the local government and even the provincial government. So that's what we want to sustain what we have started and continue on the plan. We have already a guided plan, as mentioned. Master plan is already in place, and we have to follow that one. And we want to establish the 7 key
Priorities,
actors,
yeah.
Key actors, the 7 components of the East Parks to
Okay.
operate. So our future plan is to operate this,
Yes.
to have an operation of this East Park. Now, the East Park then is not this Alubijid only.
Okay.
We have proposed in our charter. Actually, it's stipulated that 2 is Park.
Okay. And
It's a
where's
club
the other
area.
one?
It's a club area. It's Park, which is we call it now as Agropolis. For the Alubijid, we call it AGILA. It's Park. No, as mentioned by Architect Tumpa, there is already an ongoing construction on the Research and Innovation Center, Research and Innovation Center in Claveria, a 3-story building. Okay, that's the building. Also, the first building to be considered part of the East Park
Dito sa
in
Claveria.
Claveria. Similar here, natay first building RDO. Okay, and then CDO as an academic identified campus, not an East Park, but other activities, some of the activities and projects will support to this East Park.
Okay.
Okay,
So whatever
for
we
the
put up
Innovation
in CDO
Center,
campus,
we will support this to East Park.
So everything tanan
Now,
hindi pang buong karon partner din supporting all the other projects.
And then the long-term plan here is to establish the 3 East Park. So aside from this we want to add another one.
And which
It's in Villanueva.
okay.
So
exciting.
we have already a support charter, a law to establish that Villanueva campus. In fact, we started already establishing or offering 3 courses there last year, temporarily housed in the LGU building, local government building. Now, what we had planned for Villanueva as a third ex-ante part is to establish the campus inside the PBDEC. Inside the PBDEC. Right now, the PBDEC, the PBDEC gave us 5 hectares through use of tract agreement. So, meaning to say, we can now start. In fact, there is already a plan for a campus to establish there. What is lacking is funding, no? We need funding from the government, no? To start the establishment of that Villanueva campus. And the good thing of Villanueva, there are already industries around. Okay? Imagine 3,000 hectares with the presence of different industries around the area. What is lacking is the academic. So meaning to say, we can convert the industrial part into us in this anti part.
Okay.
So with that plan, no, long-term plan, it looks like that we will be initiating a 3 East anti part.
Yeah. Exactly.
AGILA, Agropolis, and Villanueva. And then, with that 3, we call it now as an innovation triangle.
Innovation triangle.
Pattern with research triangle in US.
You're actually introducing some concepts new to me and perhaps our audience.
3 is on the part formed into a triangle. So that's why we call it innovation
MAGNIFIED
triangle.
has really put it in
That will
a
support
lot
now.
of information also to me. Thanks to you, press, no, for giving a lot of information.
So,
input, no?
it's a pattern with research triangle in US. No? And the research and the innovation triangle. And the most important resource here for this innovation triangle is our researchers. No? That's the start.
The power of
We have
research.
equipped all our researchers. Industries will come, government will come, commercials will come, commercial centers or commercial activity. Then there will be a booming of that place.
Yes,
And
no,
progress will
indeed,
continue.
no?
That's why the Consul of Japan, Amiwa, so interested, no? And he want to link us to
Imagine siguro
Japan.
niya
no?
sa mga ang future, no? Kung
So
saan possible.
that's the long-term plan. The direction of the university when it comes to the establishment of the science of the fight.
That's a great thing, no? And so indeed, we have a visionary leader in us, and that is with our President, Dr. Ambrosio B. Cultura II. I would like to thank both of them. Press, salamat
Thank you,
kayo, no, for leading the university. And Architect Lumpa, thank you kayo for your active, dynamic, no? Murag kakakuha ng energy ninyo ni Press, no? The partnership is so strong, and all other leaders in the university. We pray to God that all these plans will happen. So we thank everyone. No, we thank you for your presence at MAGNIFIED, and thank you so much, no, for giving a lot of information to our audience right now. Indeed, we have known the updates on our university's infrastructure and where the university is heading so far. May we all continue to support these dynamic plans of the university. As what our USTP President, Dr. Ambrosio B. Cultura II said, together we can achieve more. I am Glenda Lived, your host. See you next time for the next episode of MAGNIFIED, the President's Affairs.